Hello, welcome to my first mini-myths video. I'm Connor, and today I will be telling the story of Jason and the Argonauts. I hope you enjoy it. So this story begins on an island called Icolus. This land had been taken over by an evil king whose name was Pelias, who was a very mean and nasty ruler. The queen of the gods, Hera, disliked the evil king more than any of the other gods, and she sent his nephew, a young prince, to a half-man, half-horse called Chiron. This young prince was called Jason, and Chiron raised him until he was 20, and taught him how to use swords and sail boats. When he reached the age of 20, Jason went back home to Icolus and asked his uncle if he could be king. His evil uncle laughed in Jason's face and said that if Jason could get a magical golden fleece from an island filled with witches, then Jason could be king. So, Jason got himself a set of men together, including the legendary Hercules, and a boat that he called the Argo, which had been created by Hera and the god of the sea Poseidon and the goddess of wisdom Athena. They got on the ship and began sailing towards the island of witches, called Colchis. They made a couple of stops along the way. The first was at an island called Lemnos, which only had women on it. The next stop was where they met a blind king who could see the future. He was called Phineus, and was being tormented by harpies, who were creatures that looked like women but had wings. These women were stopping Phineus from eating, so Jason and the Argonauts scared them off, and in return Phineus warned them of a set of clashing rocks ahead in the water that would crush their boat. Phineus told them that they could get past the clashing rocks by first throwing a stone in them and letting them crush that, before sailing through quickly. Jason and the other men thanked the blind king, and did exactly as he said. They threw a stone straight into the clashing rocks, and it was crushed. Then, with the help of Poseidon, the Argo sailed through without getting crushed, and this led them straight into Colchis, the scary land of witches, which had dragons flying in the sky. Jason went to the witch king, who was an incredibly mean and evil ruler. His name was Aeetes. Jason asked Aeetes if he could have the magical golden fleece. The witch king didn't want to give up his fleece, and he set a trap for Jason by handing him a bucket of what looked like seeds. The king said that if Jason could plant them using his bronze bulls, then Jason could have the fleece. Thinking it sounded quite easy, Jason agreed. But before he got started, the witch king's daughter came up to him. Her name was Medea, and she was very beautiful. She warned him that the bulls were actually from her granddad, the sun god Helios, and that they actually set on fire when humans got too close. Medea was also a witch like her dad, and because she had fallen in love with Jason, she gave him a magic potion to protect him from the fiery bulls, and he said that if he managed to get the fleece, he would marry her. Jason then rubbed the oils on himself and went to the fiery bulls. He managed to get them to sow the seeds, but just after he managed it, the seeds were actually dragon teeth, and they grew into skeleton soldiers, and they began chasing after Jason. Medea used her magic to protect Jason, and they ran together to a tree where the magical golden fleece was guarded by a dragon. Medea sang to the dragon, and it fell asleep just as Jason grabbed the fleece. Medea, the Argonauts, and Jason then escaped by sailing away on the Argo back to Icolus, where Jason showed the golden fleece to the evil king Pelias. His evil uncle then gave up the throne, and Jason and Medea became king and queen of Icolus for many years after that. That's the end of that myth. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, or subscribe. Please let me know what videos you would like to see on mini-myths in the future. Let's keep classics alive. I will see you next time on Mini Myths.